Hey guys, I'm Claire from Life Skills with Mrs. T, and today I've got the lovely Louise Pratley from Osteo and Physio Events, and she is an osteopath. And I've been thinking a lot about, I've been in the office a lot more, I've been on my sewing machine a lot more. I've just mentioned to Louise, I actually was looking at going to an osteopath before lockdown happened because I've been having issues with my shoulder. And was like, oh, I wonder if there's anything I can be doing. So I actually found Louise on LinkedIn, and she's got some fantastic videos on YouTube which help with stretching and positioning. So I thought, who better to get on, have a chat with and go, right, when we're all sewing and hunching over as we sew, what can we be doing to sort of kind of minimize that damage, minimize those aches and pains?
So first off, it's so common at the moment, and I was saying to Claire as well, obviously back in clinic now, we're back in for emergencies, and so many people that have been cooped up inside are not doing their normal routine of movement. So we find, first off, we're a lot more static, and also if we're having more time, we get more engrossed in what we're doing. So if we're creating, which is fantastic for mental well-being, you find that, 2-3 hours later, you've been static in this position, and you suddenly stop and you come out of that position, you think, why the hell is my shoulder so sore? Why is my neck feel so stiff? And it's just, all it is duration and change of mechanics for a long period of time. And actually it's really quick and simple to resolve. It's just when we're engrossing something, we don't always get into that routine and we don't always think about our bodies. So first off, how we should be normally is a lovely kind of S-shaped curve. So we always think that we kind of need to be like this, but actually we're meant to have a little bit of rounding and the head's coming forward, and that's how the body balances. When we're sat at, you were saying, Claire, like dining room tables, or we're slightly on an armchair, awkward position, what we do initially is we compress through the body. And if we were to sit normally like this, we would be like, this is uncomfortable, we feel soreness, you wouldn't do it. No. But like we said, when you're distracted by something, you sustain that position. And so in the short term, not so bad. You get a bit of ache, a bit of pain just from the body being in a different position. It's that prolonged position day in and day out where we're not resetting the body is where the problems occur. And the most common stuff I see when we're concentrating, particularly around the neck and the head, is a lot of tension around the base. And so what people start to suffer with is tension type headaches. And I don't know if you've seen this before, Claire, when you've been creating like round here.
Tension headaches,
we get that tightness around the suboccipital muscles because their role in the body is to keep the eyes level. So if we're looking down and we're doing this, they have to work 10 times harder to bring the head back up. So again, 5-10 minutes, fine. 2 hours, you really start to get tension. You might even find yourself kind of doing this. So really massaging through, and how it starts to progress is you start to get this referral of pain over to the front of the head. And that's where people start to feel it. And again, it's just that chain reaction. It's just the body trying to help you by adapting, because again, if it thinks you're going to stay here, it tightens the muscles to fix you in that position so you're stable. Otherwise you would just drop forward. So you start to get tightness down through here, and then what we typically find, particularly people using the upper body like you were saying with creating, we start to actually pinch and compress our rotator cuff muscles, so our stabilizers of the shoulder, and we start to get a little bit of pain around the front, which can also manifest down. And I don't know if you've suffered from this, with like pins and needles or any ache into the arm.
That's pretty much what I deal with. So there you go.
That's interesting. Because again, it's that normally that build up. If there's been no trauma to the body, i.e. we've had no direct impact into that area, you find it's that repetitive contraction over time, and it normally starts here. It can refer down through, but if we're starting to get pins and needles, all it is where your nerves leave your neck and they come down. There's certain points which are a little bit more sensitive, so certain points that get very tight. And so if we're doing this repetitively day in and day out and we're not relaxing, that tension starts to build. And so we start to find we get a little bit of tingling down and a bit of sensation into the hand. And so how to resolve it is actually quite easy. What we want to do is reset the body, get it moving, and get it stretching, which is exactly what we spoke about as well with the videos on YouTube.
Definitely, yes. And I've been doing lots of yoga as well, actually, which I find Actually, I've had less problems with my shoulder since I've started yoga. So
Oh, amazing.
I think just that stretching, and I don't know, but for me, lockdown's been a more opportunity to exercise. That has been one of the bonuses. So more stretching, more yoga, more, for me, I've been running, which actually I think tightens muscles, but
that's fab though. And again, it's changing that mindset, because that's another thing we can touch on in a minute if you want to. It's going to the other extreme where people have either not moved at all or almost done too much. And so for me, it's finding that balance. And I think the best way to start, and you don't need a fancy chair, because I see a lot of people who are really into kind of crafts and creating, who they know they're going to be sitting for a long period of time, they invest a lot of money in a really good chair. But actually, if you think about resetting through the curves of the body, it's a lot easier than you think. So I bought my cushions, I thought in case we're talking about it today. So one of the best things that you can do to start off with is set your workplace up for success. So if you're going to be working, set it up properly. So the first thing you can do is fold a cushion in half, or you can get a yoga mat, whatever's easier, and you can place it into the small of your lower back. Because if you place it into the lower back long ways, what it does, it's like someone getting a bit of string, it lifts up through. So you already feel yourself lifting, so your shoulders are in a better position. What you then want to do is, whatever you're working on, you can get big thick books, or whatever you can to prop it up. If you're using a dining room table, you can lift it up, so when you're working, you're reducing that risk of slumping. If you've done that and you still find yourself, depending on what they're creating, if you still find yourself doing this, what you can do is then implement movement and stretching. So if you can't change the setup, you can change how you manage your body and how you look after your body. So what I do is, with my phone, is I tend to set a timer every hour. And I know you said with your latest vlog, getting the body moving, every hour is key. And we tend to not do this at all. Like I say, getting gross. If you set a timer every hour to move, already you're taking away that tension and taking away that long-term pattern that can arise through the body. And one of the ways we can do this, so we're thinking, right, okay, when we're working, we're using our neck, it's coming down, we're using our shoulders. So one of my favourite things, and again, we'll add the link and stuff to the video, is desk mobility and daily mobility. So we can just really simply start to move the neck. Literally just rotating, so simple.
Yeah,
so simple. And then dropping chin down, looking up, and then just doing a little bit through the shoulders. Just feels so nice. But everyone always thinks like it can't be this simple. Like, it has to be a lot more complex to look after our bodies. And it's not. It's just going, right, okay, well, the joints are getting really stiff. We need to get fluid into the joint. Let's get it moving. And if you're doing that regularly, you're preparing yourself for success, and it means that you can create for longer. And then same with the stretching. If you're getting tension around here, what you can do is clasp the hands, place them around the back of the head, and as you gently drop your chin down, you use the hands to exaggerate that stretch.
Oh yeah, I see.
You should feel it down the back of the neck.
I do feel that. Actually, that's quite nice. I like that one. I'll give that one a go.
It's really good because it decompresses through the neck. So where the joints are doing this, when we're looking forward or down, it opens up through the joints, but also stretches your traps, which get really tight up through here. And again, there's loads of stretches we can go through that are all in the video, but it's just targeting the main muscles around here, so that if you're doing that every hour, you're taking that tension down, you're resetting the body, and you're less likely to cause injury long term.
That's perfect, and I'll be getting these into my hourly routine. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Louise. I really appreciate your tips and advice. And if anyone wants to find out more, osteo and physio events are online, and you can find them on YouTube as well. And yes, I have put a link to Louise's YouTube in my blog. So if you want to find the blog, do go to lifeskillswithmrst.co.uk and leave a comment. So yeah, great chatting with you, and take care everyone. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.